to this month's full moon in Capricorn soul guidance reading. So what can I tell you about this Capricorn full moon? Well, firstly, it's set at 7:40 p.m., 7:41 p.m. in British summertime GMT time. And I'll go across the board, some parts in Europe as well. Okay, and obviously, if you're looking from far afield, do check your own time. Now, this particular full moon is also very, very big and strong on manifestation. Unlike most full moons, which is about closures and completions, which it is also, which I'll come back to in a moment, but this one actually particularly is a really good one to start grounding on the back of the solstice that just happened over the weekend, your visions and what you really intend to manifest. Okay, we've all been through the mill, we've all been through lots of changes, different chaos, chaos cycles from the pandemic, through work changes, through our personal changes as well. A lot of people have been really shifting on an ascension level as well, and really making and becoming awakened to realize that there are certain other things that they actually want to be part of, or actually dismantling the old to create the new. All right, so this is really very much about endings as well as new beginnings. And interestingly, the Capricorn axis, the Capricorn new moon was in January, which is always about New Year's intentions as well. While I'm personally not huge on New Year's resolutions, rather, intentions are always something that speak to me. I don't always put them down every month, I have to sort of say, but I generally am mindful about the intentions I want to create around the new moon or possible full moons, as this particular one, which, like I said already, is a really positive time to be putting some manifestations. But the good thing to be doing at this time as well is to be really maybe check in with your new moon or your January intentions anyway. If you put any down in January, it's a good time to bring that out and maybe have a scan through and see if there's anything there that you've already planned to do that you've kind of forgotten about, or you had wanted to do, but the time has been a time of delays, frustrations, or maybe non-starters, okay? That could be for many, many reasons, possibly to do with the energetic level that you're in. It could have also been, of course, to do with the pandemic. We're all just coming out and living sort of a much more of a normal life, or back to a life that is being activated into movement and planning and reorganizing and collaborating. Okay, these are very much the themes. Capricorn's all about structure and putting kind of the foundations down of things. And Cancer, its opposite sign, which we're also coming up to very soon. There'll be a new moon in Cancer next month in a couple of weeks' time as well. But we're certainly moving into Cancer, which is all about nurturing things that are nourishing us and maybe what is really close to our hearts. So those two have to be in tandem, in balance. So although it is a Capricorn full moon, it is really wise, I think, at this time to be mindful of bringing those elements certainly into your being. Okay, so let me go dive into the reading. I've got the card spread here already, and there'll be a picture up on the screen. Yep. So like I said, there's going to be a picture up on the screen where you're able to see the cards laid down, still facing down. So let's have a look. So I opened 2 chakras cards this time. I forgot to actually show my chakra card the last time in the last reading. And it was to do with rebirth and to do with the earth chakra, which is all about grounding. Now, interestingly, and I feel that the 2 chakra cards that's come up couldn't be better for the theme of this Capricorn full moon. Okay, I really feel that in some way that it is really important to do some listening. This is attached to the throat chakra, which also works around all the kind of your respiratory system, around your headspace and your face. Okay, I feel with this card it is really important that while the manifestations are encouraged, first and foremost, before you actually do any of that, you really need to listen out for the truth within your soul. Okay, this is very, very important. Listen out for any signs or repeat messages, repeat numbers, or maybe what happens, a noise that might come into your sphere as you're actually thinking of certain thoughts. Okay, I'm actually going to pause the reading because I actually have a delivery arriving, and I can hear it arriving, and it's going to get very distracting. So I should come back and continue with this reading. So as we got interrupted, but I was talking about listening. So that was quite interesting that I was listening out, or I'd heard the truck coming at, driving onto my road. So this is kind of a really good example of actually really paying attention, not only to the obvious that you might be expecting, but particularly to have your feelers out and open. All right, particularly if you're communicating with people, it's really interesting. This is a time that you need to really be doing this, okay? The other thing I also really feel strongly about is to be listening in times of silence and in times of personal meditation, restoration, or replenishing your energy again. So if you're going to take time out, have a nap, that kind of thing, you really want to be spending time kind of in a reverie and listening to your thoughts. Okay, the other thing that's now popping into my mind around that as well is when you speak to people, pay attention to what they're saying. So be present in the listening, given the gift of your listening, and pay attention to what's really, listen out to your own self through what's catching your attention, or what is being sparked by what you're reading or finding. Say it's on Facebook and something comes through, and there's so much noise now, okay? This really is an ailment of our times, that within the noise, we have to actually be much more discerning as to what's really speaks to us, okay? So anyway, I'm going to go ahead. So this is the chakra card that I'm talking about right now to do with listening. So I really feel, and again, it'd be a really good time to tune up your throat chakra, okay, with the intention of opening the valves up for clear listening, okay, and allowing also yourself to be listening in from your guides, from the angels, from the archangels, and really allowing it to penetrate and permeate your being. All right, now I'm also using the Wisdom of Oracle deck by Colette Reid, face down. Okay, well, this is interesting. This is time for a nap. So again, I do feel with this Capricorn, that it's a really good time, and the energy, some of you could be actually in the vortex of the energy, which means you might be feeling tired and you want to take time out. This is very much encouraged. This is the current energy that will be happening around the full moon, coming up to the full moon and out of the full moon phase, okay, as we go in the 4 weeks to the cycle of the full moon. The next full moon being Aquarius at the end of July, around about the 24th as well, okay, so it's a whole month. All right, so this is as we come in. So again, some of you could be been spending some time on your own and listening out for messages, and it's a really good time. We do also have, I think, Jupiter. The reason this also Capricorn full moon is really quite exciting, in terms of manifestation, is because we've got Jupiter in the mix. All right, and Jupiter is the planet of expansion. It's just entered, I think, Pisces as well, or is it Neptune? I'm kind of getting confused a bit, but very much about, for sure, the Jupiter entering the horoscope for expansion. In fact, I'm just going to have a quick look at some notes because I did read some notes earlier. So where are we? Okay. Yes. So yes, it is a really good time to actually start listening out. Okay. If you look at here, there's a moon there. Okay, it's not quite full, but there's a fox there lying down, and really listen out, and you can see the stars there. So listening out to the sparks of inspiration that might come about. Okay, yeah, it is in Pisces. Okay, so, and it's also a sextile, which is actually a good configuration, which means it's actually very complementary. It is something that could also bring out some good from this aspect, if you like. So very important. Do listen out as well to any of the messages you're getting. And I think that is really, really important. Some of you as well could have had some news that's kind of really spun things out for you. We've had the eclipses recently as well, which could have been the cause of that happening, as in not the eclipse making that happen, but things would have come to light, that things have come out of the blue, and you could be recovering as well from something that's actually, taken you by surprise. Okay, so again, these are deliberate course correction. If there's a good course correction time right now, this is it. All right, so you really want to be thinking about that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open the cards here. Wow. Okay, so I've got my favorite deck, which happens to be the deck of the moment for me, which is the Moon Oracle deck. Where's her box? So it's been quite a busy day, so I'm sort of organized, but very disorganized at the same time. Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey Demarco. Here's that box. Okay, so I love this deck, and I've been using it for most of my moon readings. So I've just opened the cards, turn them over, and it is, here we are. You see the card of assessment. So this is a time to really think about where you're going, how far do you want to go. If you see there as well, she's got the telescope. So really putting your vision out there and really taking your ideals out now. This is a time to really cultivate. This is why it is so important that we take our time. And I'll come back to that. And also interestingly here, we've got boundaries. Okay, I'm going to come back to these two cards because I actually want to introduce the message that I got for this full moon. Okay, and I'm just taking it up here. It says, time to put your vision out. So this is what I got. I always intend and ask for through a prayer, what personal message can I give? What am I tuning into the energies of this full moon? Okay, and this is what I got. This is time to put your vision out. Okay, it is not a race. All right, so I think there's a sense of kind of course, we've all been through the mill and we want to put it out there. We want to do this and we want to do that. Okay, but it is not a race. So do not compare yourself to anybody else. You don't need to rush before, you know, to get there before somebody else. This is very much a time to build up. And I've also got hyphen kind of ground up. So I feel that it is from the ground up. And interestingly, as I was writing this and getting the messages down, I got a picture in my mind's eye of Jenga. You know, the kind of how you stack things up. So for some of us, it's been things that we've been really putting together for a long, long time now, or building on our expertise, building up on our profession. And then I did say, I think last time as well, the last reading I did on the YouTube, you would find, and I also interestingly thought about, you know, kind of maybe re-looking at, you know, don't throw all the bulbs out, you know, what could you be growing? And this time I've got this sort of image in my mind about Jenga. So maybe taking the pieces out, you know, that really don't fit anymore. What parts of your structure can you take out without sort of, you know, everything falling out? Okay, but this is very much a ground up thing. So some of you could have been working very much on the ground up. Some of us, for some of you as well, it could be a new venture, which would be starting to lay the foundation from ground up. Okay, the other message I got here is choose wisely who can enter your energetic space. So I think this is so interesting. And look, here we are with a card of boundaries. I love it when this happens. I just love it when, you know, I get a message and the cards, you know, come down with a message which really correlate. Okay, really correlate. So boundaries, of course, is about who can come in and out of your energetic space. If you notice that she's got a bubble there, really important as well. And a really good meditation, a very simple meditation, is from the crown chakra. Imagine an egg like this, you know, like a white light all the way around your body, your auric field of your body, you know, and for it to deflect anybody who really doesn't belong in your space anymore. And you don't really have to do anything, you can just intend it. Okay, the only thing you need to do is visualize it with intention, that is, you're covered with that, and allowing people who need to go, and drawing to yourself that people really need to come now to partner up and to collaborate. But your boundaries is very important here as well. So be mindful. And again, it's not only people that is really important, it's about your pastimes. How do you spend your time? What were you doing before? Maybe that doesn't resonate anymore with you, or you know that doesn't need to be in your sphere anymore in terms of an energetic space. Okay, especially those light workers or way showers, you know, or anybody on the healing path or the leading path of anything. It is particularly important now that you really protect your space, okay, your energetic space. So boundaries very much. So, you know, it is really about tuning in, like I said, you know, and assessing where you want to go and how far you want to go, and taking a higher perspective on things as well. you know, maybe if things didn't work out, to see, you know, maybe the higher perspective of that, you know, seeing, getting that, you know, a higher vision to recognize that this is actually maybe happened for your own good, or maybe what can you actually bring in instead of it for, you know, what else can you create, okay, by taking the higher road of whatever could have possibly happened or not. Okay, so I'm just going to see what possible restrictions, blocks, or challenges we could have. All right, or what could, okay, so basically what could be hindering your progress is if you don't get things into balance. What was interesting was I had actually had the Rider-Waite deck in my hand earlier on, and I had the World card. And I feel that World card shared 2 wands, and I was initially reading that deck, that card, particularly the card, which is still here actually, as it's somewhere here, it doesn't matter, as balance. Okay, now what is really required, I think, for people to do, that you could trip yourself up if you don't do this, is to actually breathe, to take some time out. Okay, this card also is very much about visualizing, taking, I don't know if you can really see it. Can you see it? See, she's sitting there with her eyes closed as well, and she's coming from a center. If you look at that, there's a face right in her body there. So again, this is about taking time, tuning in, and really connecting, okay, to your inner core and your inner inspiration. And here, to the supporting card from the Moon Oracle deck as well is balance. Okay, so again, you know, we can't, you know, we've had this recently, this very card before, and you can still see the way is not exactly clear yet. Okay, you might have a vision, you might have a sort of an inkling of where you want to go, but you're not going to see every detail immediately. This is the important part. Putting a vision out is literally that's the intention. It's a mental and spiritual and a divine connection of allowing things to having something in your mind or a vision, and even if you can't see how you're going to get there, trusting that you will. Okay, but what's important as well, I feel, is to stay balanced. Okay, so make sure your diet is helping to balance your adrenals. Make sure that your lifestyle is supporting you to stay balanced. So, you know, trying, you know, not to have late nights, you know, or if you do, then make sure you're resting the next day, you know, and really cultivate a sense of balance and a sense of purpose. Does it serve you to be sleeping half the day all the time? But if it's, of course, if you're tired, then do take a nap, you know. But I'm thinking and feeling that this is really important for some of you, that you might need to rebalance certain things and certain ways of being, you know, maybe that's why I'm kind of saying that as well. So you will only know, this is individual. Okay, there are various people who view this, and it's really important. And speaking of viewers here, in fact, I'm going to make a very quick announcement in the middle of this reading, all right? Because I know that not everyone watches to the end. Now, it's really important. I really have your support. So if you're new to watching this, thank you for being here and watching this. And please do subscribe. It really makes a difference for my output of these videos as well. And it is sometimes hard and disheartening, I will be honest, to see only 4 or 5 viewers. You know, I've been doing these, and I know that we're up against a lot of other readers now on YouTube. It's all on algorithms and everything else. So basically, I'm doing this not because I want my numbers up. I'm doing this because I really feel I have a message to pass on, and hope to sort of help you on your journey and give you some soul guidance readings that can really help you on a personal, spiritual, and soulful level. All right, but it'd help me to be able to continue doing these as well. If you would actually subscribe, maybe even comment. These comments are important. The reason we ask for comments, because again, it does make a difference to where our placing of our videos are. Now, the other thing I also want to offer is down below at the link, there is a chakra sheet, which I've put together, that you will find on my website, okay, under Everyday Alchemist. And this you can download for free. I've got mine laminated here, but it's got all the chakras, all the essence of the chakra, and you got some mantras you can repeat, mudras there, and some classic yoga postures. Again, this is for free. You can download it. So particularly if you are into the chakras. And like I said, so if this is a particular one for this month, it's a throat chakra. So it's really good for you to be concentrating on that. And this will give you exactly, it's to do with communication, higher creativity and self-expression. Some mantras there, and I don't have one particular actually to listening, but you can also sort of say, now I'm now tuning in to listen clearly and listen out for any messages from the divine source or from the angels or whatever it is. You make your own mantras up, but there is some there to help you, and you can reword them. Okay, and these are this tool is really handy to have, and trust me, as I say this most months, not all the time, the chakras really are the key kind of generators, power generators of your center in your core. So I really very, very much huge fan and a big practitioner, if you like, personal, and encourage people to do the chakras. Now, finally, as my last announcement before we move on to the second bit of my reading, is that if you stay to the end, somewhere towards the end, there'll be a strip that will go across the screen with a code, and whoever sends me a message via my website under contacts and puts that code word or whatever it could be, because I only know that when I get to it when in editing, that you will I'll offer you a 30-minute free reading, which is about the value of 45 or even more. I forget now, but anyhow, it's a free reading up to 30 minutes, you know, so do take advantage of this offer as well. Okay, well, sorry for the interruption there. And continuing on, so like I said, it is a really good time. This is what will really help you. If you don't do the breathing and the sitting down and the meditation and balancing your life, you could find that you could be actually challenged in the upcoming weeks. Okay, so this is a high recommendation for you to do that. Okay, the other card, which interestingly enough, talking about visualization, was actually also this chakra card, which fell out at the same time with the listening card. So again, listening out for anything that you might even be seeing. You know, you can be listening through your ears, but as well listening through the eyes, if you like really paying attention. All right, this could also mean a personal visualization. So notice what visuals are coming your way. Okay, maybe you're thinking about moving and you're noticing certain places are coming up time and time again. Okay, that's a message from the universe as well. There could be also a visualization that you want to put out in place, which is your visioning about maybe what you want to create, what kind of collaborations you want to create, where do you want to be, how do you see you expressing yourself, your work or otherwise, or where do you want to live? It could be much more personal than that. What kind of partnerships do you want to have? What does it feel like? You know, imagine it, okay? Okay, as well as, and when you imagine it, really bring the feeling to it, okay? And maybe even listening out for any signs you could be getting in these visuals as well. It could be also in a state of dream you could be doing, or obviously in meditation as well. So just allow yourself to really free flow, and, you know, a time of when you could be napping, all right? You know, sometimes if you're just about to fall asleep, you get visuals. Start paying attention to your dreams, okay? I know for many it's been quite vivid as well at this time. So I recommend, and that's to do with your third eye chakra as well, which is, you know, for those who don't know, it's a point between the brows, all right? And very much about the sacred truth and being in tune. This is a time to be really in tune to source and divine as well, all right? And really trusting your inner vision. So allowing your inner vision to come through as well, and not being afraid of it, or even asking what your inner vision is as well, for those who are actually feeling lost and uncertain as which way to go, okay? Just relax into it and allow yourself to be guided, which is the best course of action you can do, okay? This is not a willful thing either. This is the process of allowing, and with the boundaries in place and keeping your energetic boundary in the right place as well, you will find that your boundaries or your energy field doesn't actually get murky. All right, you know, if your boundaries are loose and you're spending time with people and places that are actually not helpful or conducive to your energy field, it will get mucky and you can't get the messages coming through. So again, it's about taking self-responsibility and taking care of yourself so you're nurtured and nourished in a way that really serves you. Okay, my final card here. Okay, so I do feel that it's interesting. This visualization for many as well, including myself, is about finding your tribe. No question. This is about finding your group to serve. This is finding about the group to serve with, okay, and actually start doing things in a collaborative way. All right. So wherever you are in the field of things, again, as well, this is also about finding the people. For those, maybe it's not work related, finding the people that you know are going to be nourishing you and nurturing and who have your back. All right. Change is definitely, here's another card that's supporting this. So there's definitely a change for many. that you are being asked to change. I feel like some things have happened for some people as well, that you've come to a place, an end of a cycle for yourselves, and there's some change that is happening. Okay, there is definitely new life wanting to come out. At the bottom of my oracle deck, I've got things like 3 key ones, which I've got here: change in the wind, new life, and chop wood as well. Okay, so definitely just go about your business doing simple things, you know, that whole sort of Buddhist thing, you know, chop wood and carry water. So do the ordinary and everyday things and trusting, but there is some new life beckoning after some phase of difficulty or some change. All right, I think some of you could be going towards a change, or maybe even changing things, because this column of the reading here is about changing. Okay, this is what we're going into from this full moon. So from now to the few weeks coming up, there will be some definite change of maybe kinship, tribe, maybe geography for some of you as well, where you live, okay, who you are connecting with. Maybe perhaps you've noticed that people you've been connecting with before are not actually serving you anymore. So you might want to be changing that as well, okay, and listening out to what's coming in. Okay, and noticing maybe the changes that you are feeling both in your body and mind. Okay, as 2 bonus cards here, I've got the Sacred Rebel card by, what's her name? Alana Fairchild. I haven't used this deck for a very long time. Okay, but I've got 2 facing down. Okay, and the first card I'm going to open up is Beyond the Mind, the Heartbeat. So again, this is about, you know, going past the mind, okay, and tuning into your heart, which what this card also is. It is definitely now a collective awakening. Some of these messages will be repetitive because it is a cycle they're shifting into, and cycles are not always very swift, but it is a cycle. All right, so very important that it is that you tune in to what you're hearing, what you can birth as well, and what you know, what wants to be birthed, okay, what wants to come out, okay, and things will be needing to come out. Maybe you've buried it so deep long, or maybe you've forgotten about it, like I said, from January or even from the past. But this is a time now for noticing what is going to get your heart beating in a way that you're excited about performing, doing, being with, and who you're being with. If you're in a partnership, for example, that's no longer also doing it from that. I mean, it's not to say that you have to always be like, you know, but it is really important that you honor the truth of what you'd want from in your relationships as well. And I know for some, there could have been some changes in your relationships and possible new relationships that could have come in, and really tuning into the truth of your heart rather than the mind, okay? The mind is very good at playing the trickster and justify certain things when you know in your heart that it's either right or wrong, okay? Now, the other amazing card that we've got here, just turning over that, this is what you want wants you. So I feel this is absolutely lovely. This was actually on the end column, to do with visualizing. So visualize what you want, because whatever it is that you want, also you've got to trust is out there wanting you as well. Okay, there's always that saying, you know, that yeah, and I tell my clients that all the time, you know, don't worry, just what you want, what you're desiring, the other person's looking for you, or there's an opening of job that you, exactly the job that you want, okay? But the thing is, you've got to be really clear in what it is that you want, and you start putting it out there, you know, send it out with the winds and visualize it, write your visualizations down, or maybe even go down with a blank slate and then seeing what comes through, okay? Be surprised. You might think, oh no, I'm making this shit up, you know, I'm making this up. But trust me, your soul knows more than we know personally on a kind of ego level, and it is now time to abandon that and trust where you're being led to, okay? So yeah, I think I'm going to end it here as well, because there has been a few disruptions. So do pay attention to the listening and what you're hearing. Put your visualizations out there, or if you already know possibly what you might do and you have an inkling of where, and do ask for guidance. Okay, this is what the listening card is about. If you have a question or a prayer, say it's about, you know, wanting to move, where will serve me best for my highest good to do, where I'll most be fulfilled and make my work too, you know, and then just see what comes up. If you haven't got a clue, you know, you might have an inkling, follow that through. Every strand that you follow through will lead you somewhere to the next sign, next segue. All right, but it is really important that you listen and notice what is coming through. This is very much a time of a collective shift, putting your manifestations out. Do write your vision out, like I said, and pay attention. And it's a good one to do in the full moon. And because a full moon often is about completions and letting go, it's a really good time maybe to purify yourself of any, what you call it, of any old people, a story, or anything that you know that has had its ending. Okay, and give some gratitude for that as well. Make sure that you thank the part that they played in, or what you've learned from it, maybe the lessons that you've gained. Okay, because at the end of the day, we're all wanting to move towards a life that is nourishing, fulfilling, that is loving towards ourselves. Okay, and then get your focus back on. The letting go phase is just as important as sowing the new phase. So as this Capricorn full moon, I really feel has both elements into it. I would recommend that you do the letting go, the completion, and allowing new thought forms to start birthing itself. Okay, as a continuation from the last reading I've done as well. So you might find that up on the screen as well. Now, do look at those, because like I said, these readings tend to go from one cycle to another. Okay, the new moon to the full moon. And in between that, I did an in between that one. I did I'm not avoided moon. I can't even think today. Oh my God. Oh, the quarter moon. It's the quarter moon phase as well. I didn't get much viewers on that, and I didn't get a chance to do this one. I might just stick to the full moon and new moon, but again, your comments will really help. Okay, I have thought about maybe doing astrological ones for each astrology, or, you know, I'm really open to ideas, but do make your comments if you'd like to see more of something, or for me to develop something new for you to tune into. Do let me know. I'm very open to listening to what you have to say, and I'd really, really appreciate that. So thanks for watching, and there'll be a code going through this off the screen now. So if you got this far, do take advantage of it and put the code down, and just send me a quick message from the contacts. And if you're the first person, I will email you back with that news, and you can certainly have a reading that could help you and guide you to your next step in course in life. Thanks again. Thanks for watching. All my links are below. I do ask for donations through the Ko-fi link, which is also really important. That's a minimum donation of £3 that will help my projects of also establishing some new cards that I've got in mind, and all the others I might be engaging in. Lots of love, and I will see you for sure on the new moon in Cancer reading. Bye for now. Bye. Bye-bye.